Hey everyone. Wow, you're so close. Um, it's been a couple months. It's been a very long couple months. If you hear anything, it's him. He's out in the room laughing, watching I don't know what. So yeah, but my body just hates me, and it sucks. And normally I wouldn't put something like this on Facebook or on YouTube or anything like that, but I feel like I know I'm not the only woman going through it. So guys, you can step out of the room if you want to, unless you want to learn how to, what's the word I want to use? Learn more about your girl. But, that hurts. So, August was the last time I had a period that my body produced on its own. And, of course, maybe me. Yeah. Well, I was also having pains on my right side during times, so I wasn't really paying too much attention. I was being 10 days late. Went to the hospital. This is, I'll come back to this type of thing. That's why I'm saying it. Went to the hospital. Of course, they made sure it was my appendix. And then they said that I'd come back for a ultrasound later. So I come back for the ultrasound. And, make the schedule with my OBGYN. And by the time I'm talking to OBGYN with whatever results that the hospital got, mind you, OBGYN is not associated with the hospital I went to, because the hospital I went to is a lot closer than the OBGYN. I live in a very small town. But, I had to drive like an hour to get to my OBGYN right now. And, so he went off by that, and he's like, well, there's a small cyst on your left ovary, but nothing on your right. Your right looks fine. Okay. And then I brought up about not having a period, because I was, of course, brought up at the hospital. And, so, of course, he gave me a little bit more time to see whether or not my body would go ahead and do it. And of course it didn't. My body hates me. And so he put me on Provera to jumpstart it, after it being a couple months of nothingness. And the Provera worked very well. You guys are very close again. I don't have you on a stable thing, sorry. But after the Provera, I still haven't had a period on my own. Well, of course I have the nurse that did my girl exam, and she brought up about PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which I'm not going to go into details about that because I'm not quite sure if I'm saying it right. But if you want to know, look it up. I do know that it just makes it harder to have kids. I know that one for a fact. But I have been pregnant twice before, but they both ended in miscarriages. I don't know if that could be part of it, or part of the reason why I had miscarriages, or what. I'm not quite sure. It's something I've been thinking I should ask my doctor. But he hasn't. The doctor I'm going to figure this all out. What's going on with my body hasn't necessarily brought it up. It was briefly brought up, but not in the sense of, oh yeah, you have this type of thing. So I'm guessing he's just doesn't want me to think about it until he has more information on it, on what's going on in the body. I don't know. He ran blood tests and everything like that, but yeah. And then I'm supposed to go back in February for a follow-up appointment with that doctor, and I'm supposed to like bring back like any kind of tracking stuff I can bring, which isn't very much because of the fact that I haven't had a period, and it's kind of frustrating because I'm just like, I just want my body to work normally, and it's driving me nuts because I'm like, why can't my body do what it's supposed to be doing? Like, I talk to people about it and they're like, oh, I'd be so glad if I didn't have a period. And honestly, yeah, that's like one of the things that not having to deal with that is nice. But the fact that me and Alvin does want to start a family sometime, because we have talked about it, but so we do want a family together and do want kids together, I kind of need that. So it's frustrating, and it does kind of get frustrating when everybody's like, oh, I would love to not have a period. And I was like, yeah, it can be a blessing in some ways if you're not wanting kids. I mean, if I could have a kid still and not have my period, I would be sad, I'd be fine. But that's not the case, sadly, because let's be serious, we all hate our periods. I haven't met a girl who's like, yeah, I got my period and let's go through this 5-day process, or 4 days, or however long you are. You know, we aren't like that. We get grumpy, we get crazy, depending on who you are. But if you know that you're with somebody that you love and you want to have kids, you kind of have to have a healthy body. Which I already know I'm overweight, but that's something else. But last night I went back to the hospital because I started having pain on my right side again. Of course, I already knew that most likely it's part of my ovary, but I don't know what's wrong with it because of the fact that the last time I didn't have a cyst in that ovary, I had a cyst in the other ovary. And at the same time, it's my right side and I still got my appendix, so I had to think about that. And so me and Ma went back over to the same hospital and run tests, and then they did a CAT scan, and the CAT scan came up saying that there is a 3-centimeter cyst on my right ovary. Okay, I don't know for sure, so I'm not. It's kind of frustrating because it freaking hurts. Especially when an orange kitty decides to step on it today. It freaking hurts. And then they brought up something about my left ovary. I don't know exactly what's going on. From my understanding, I could be wrong about this, but from my understanding, it's not shaped right. And I'm like, and this is where why I brought up the last one was because when I went there, they did an ultrasound, and on my note that the doctor gave me for my release form says they suggest I get an ultrasound done to find out what's going on with that ovary. If it's, in my head, I'm thinking if it's misshaped, they seen that it had, they mentioned last time that it had a small cyst on it. And now they're saying that's misshaped. But they didn't catch that the last time they had an ultrasound. And I don't see that being something that just develops on its own. I don't know. I might be wrong. So I'm not like or anything. Just kind of aggravated. And I think most of that just comes from like, well, me thinking, why isn't my body doing what it's supposed to be doing? Sorry, I gotta move that. Why isn't my body doing what it's supposed to be doing? It should be like. And of course, I've had breakdowns about it, and the boyfriend that I have is. He can be clueless sometimes, because he's a boy. And I can't expect him to know everything that's going on in my head, because I'm a girl, and let's face it, we're complicated. Men are complicated as well, but that's just the point. But I've cried, and I'm like, what if I can't give you a kid, or are you sure you want to be with me, even if I can't, there's a possibility of me not being able to give you a kid, and all this. And he's like, I love you for you, I didn't not get with you because of that. So he's been a sweetheart through it all. Poor guy's been dealing with a lot, because during this whole thing my emotions have been like just out of whack. And bless his heart. I love him. But it's frustrating. And it's like, what does that even mean? Like, your ovaries miss? How can somebody miss that? Because I don't know, but I don't think that's something that can just happen, right? Or am I wrong about that? I don't know. But it's like, why wasn't this brought up before? I've had CAT scans before. Why wasn't it brought up? And so maybe it is something that just happens out of nowhere. I don't know. But I have a follow-up appointment. Not tomorrow, but the next day. I have so many questions. I need to write them down, because I know I'm going to forget to do it or ask. And sadly, I'm not going to OBGYN that's been dealing with what I've been going through since August, but they're colleagues, so like whatever what the doctor that I'm going to tomorrow or next day, whatever they do, he's going to be able to look at that information very easily and all that jazz. So it's not too big of a deal. It's just I know in February when I go to see the doctor, he's gonna be like, your case. But my body just hates me. That's what I've been saying since August. My body just hates me. Ain't nothing I can do. I wish I could. There's not. It's driving me nuts. And the medicine I get put on it. I hate metformin. But I don't know. If you guys have any like, I don't know, tips or what you think should be asked, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget most of the questions I want to ask by the time I get there. I gotta make a list, because I know I'm going to forget some of them. Or just tips or whatever, if you know how to deal with this kind of stuff, please hand them to me. I know I don't have very many people. I don't think I have anyone watching these videos right now, which is fine. This has turned into kind of like a diary to me. But I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Love ya. Bye bye.